Welcome to Truth Seekers.
Hello, friends, and welcome to the Seiker Podcast at Service of Change, where we challenge reality, question which we've been taught, in hopes of inspiring a new direction of thought to bring about change. I'm your host, Dennis Nappy II, where you can read my book for free, I Am Human, and We Are Not Who We Think We Are, just by going to serviceofchange.com. Click on that big red button. You'll be subscribed to the free weekly Seiker newsletter, and you'll have access to read that book on your own at your leisure, absolutely free. That book will challenge the way you view reality and our relationship to the world that we live in, because it is not what it seems. So tonight's show, I would like to talk about the state of the union and the presentation of chaos and turmoil that we see every time we turn on the TV, the Facebook feed, whatever social media function you follow. And really, I want to encourage us to step back. Now, if you know me, I try not to be a fearmonger. I try not to focus on the negative stuff, but I'm also a realist. You know, if it's bad, it's bad. We need to look at it, we need to address it, and we need to develop solutions. And that's what separates me from a lot of this other social media stuff, a lot of these other podcasts that are out there, not all of them, but you know, some of the big ones. They just sell you the fear. They say, this is what's going on, get your guns, get ready, the end's coming. And it doesn't have to be that way. And that is where my frustration comes through, because there are people that are out there in the name of truth, and they're encouraging us down a path of violence and rebellion. And really, violence begets violence. And that's one of my biggest frustrations here. Now, I'm not saying don't be prepared. Absolutely prepare yourself. You know my background, former cop, former soldier. I'm prepared for anything, but I don't live expecting that to happen. I'm ready for it, but I try to live my life planning for a future of peace and harmony. And I know that's not the warrior, the stereotypical way that you would expect a warrior to speak, but in reality is martial artists train to fight so they don't have to. And that's what I'm trying to instill. That's what I'm trying to put out there. You know, in looking at the manipulation that's going on in this world, before I fully jump into that mess, because I'm frustrated. I'm very frustrated about what's going on. There's some other stuff that's out there that I think is worth sharing, and I hope that you will start to share this stuff more often. This came across my feed this week, and again, if you haven't done so already, go to serviceofchange.com and you'll see my Facebook feed right there, and just hit that like button. I've really been putting a lot of work into the Facebook feed because I can't cover everything I come across on on the show. Obviously, not at this stage of the game yet, but so I have a lot more really interesting things up there on the Facebook feed. So make sure you check it out and like me on Facebook, and let's get connected. I'd love to hear from you. This story that I shared earlier in the week, it's titled, where is this through? Wisance.com, WISANCE.com. 1 million children meditating for world peace in Thailand. I'd rather hear about that than hear about more lies that Hillary Clinton has told, or that any of these other political stuff, or see more of the violence, or somebody climbing over a fence at the Philadelphia convention. Come on, that stuff blows it up. We got 1 million children meditating for world peace in Thailand, and it's like, oh, look at those tree huggers. Let's embrace that. Let's make that a main story, because we already see that people's minds are being infected by the negative stuff, getting them scared, getting them on edge. And I'll admit, I'm on edge. I don't even watch the news, but I just see a headline or the occasional video that pops up on my news feed, and I get nervous sometimes. I have to take a step back when I see a crowd of people, when I see a police officer, when I hear people talking about these subjects. I keep thinking, okay, is a riot going to break out? That's where we're at right now. What if the media was populating everybody meditating? There's another story that I think supports this. There were 2,000 people in Times Square that were recently meditating for peace as well. These are the stories. Again, it doesn't have the emotional payoff that you may be building up to with all this other fear and conflict and tension, but it can have such a greater benefit. So what this says here, I'm just going to read pieces of it. 5,000 schools together, 1 million children meditating for world peace at the Phra Shamakya Temple in Thailand. 5,000 schools together. It goes on to say, meditation only works for the individual with inner peace, not for the greedy and corrupt people. They have no heart and no soul. Nothing is going to happen but war for them. Now that's a pretty pointed statement to make in an article, but again, when you get sucked into that war mentality, that violence mentality, that conflict, the reality is, let's look at nature, because nature is everything. You're not going to stop nature, but you can go with the flow. You're not going to stop an ocean wave from pushing you over, but you can learn to surf. Well, we need to learn to surf this energetic wave that's flowing through the world right now of negativity, and learn to surf through it and enjoy the ride. Find peace. And that, I think, is what they're doing. And I mention these shows all the time. You need to go back and listen to my other shows. I'm at the point, I'm sorry I'm frustrated on this episode, but I'm at the point of frustration because I've been putting this stuff out there, and it's not getting the attention that it deserves at this point, in my opinion. And who knows? Maybe my show just sucks. But if you're listening to this show and you're saying, you know what, Dennis, I agree with what you're saying, it's some good stuff, then I need you to share it. I need you to encourage other people to listen to the stuff that we're saying. Share the stuff that I'm sharing from other people's works. I'm not just promoting my stuff. I have articles and links to other people's things all the time. Share that stuff as well, because this is the new movement that needs to be made contagious. Otherwise, yes, this train is going to keep driving towards violence and whatever. I'm frustrated. I did it in my last show. I covered, with the law enforcement stuff and the war on police, because I called this out 3 years ago. And that's why I started doing podcasts. That's why I continue writing books, writing my blogs. I'm not going to be quiet about it anymore. I'm going to be a little bit more aggressive in how I'm talking about things. I'm not trying to force beliefs on people, but I am trying to get people to just understand this world works differently. And when you fuel the negativity, you're only going to get more negativity out of it. And we need to redirect away from that. And I'm sorry, I don't like to come off this way. It looks like it's getting to me. I need to take a dose of my own medicine, I guess. But let me step back. When I see this piece about the meditation in Thailand, that's inspiring to me. And I, as a teacher, when I used to teach, in the inner cities and stuff, I wish that we had programs like that for our students to teach them just to center themselves. When I started learning meditation and Tai Chi and yoga, when I get frustrated now, I can walk away. Sometimes if I only have a few seconds, I can count to 10, take a deep breath, and it calms me down in the moment. And if I'm really fired up and I have the time, I can walk away and do yoga. I can do Tai Chi. I can just sit, close my eyes, and meditate for a half hour, and I walk away feeling better. I do. It gets rid of that anger, that drive, that need for vengeance inside of me, and it grounds me and it centers me out. Now imagine if the whole world had that skill set. And meditation is tough in the beginning, but don't give up. You can get through it. And I look at that. That's the bigger fight there. So anyway, this is an inspiring story. It's going to be up at serviceofchange.com. I highly encourage that you check it out and that you share that on your news feed. And something else that I thought was really cool is a video that through David Wolf had it on his Facebook feed. And it was a building in Seoul, South Korea, that is the shape of a tree. And again, looking at nature for their design, and the branches all had individual gardens on it. Now, this is the type of, technology that I think we need to be seeing more of. We can feed the whole world, but instead we're so concerned about building more pipelines, running the oil, polluting the earth, big corporations, and Pokemon Go. Like, come on, what's going on with Pokemon here? So we have this these distractions that are out there, these things that are only polluting us, and we're afraid to make that investment in something new. I don't know if it's fear of being made fun of, fear of being rejected, but the greater fear is the fear of what not can happen, but what is going to happen. And I'm not fear-mongering here. I'm not trying to do that. But what I am saying is, here's a viable alternative. Start investing in these other solutions. I still haven't figured out how I'm going to do it, but I have been experimenting with different builds in my own home of indoor gardens to grow my own food. I had a mini aquaponics system going for a while. I was sprouting for about 2 years. I was growing my own sprouts. I'm experimenting with different things, seeing what works to try to be, number one, more self-sufficient, which is always a good thing in these quote-unquote uncertain times, but because it reduces our imprint, our waste, our consumption of things that don't need to be consumed by us. So I'm trying. I'm not doing enough, but I am trying to do more each and every day and teach that to my children. So this story of this one building, that's what should go viral. That's what we should be demanding. Instead, we're so focused on this bogus political race that's more like some scripted reality TV show between Hillary and Donald and Bernie backing the the party now, and everybody getting upset. And I guess I was so frustrated this week, and I just couldn't express what I was feeling. But one of the things that I want to say to everybody who is suddenly so politically minded and putting all this stuff out there and arguing over who you should vote for, where have you been for the last 3 years? What have you been doing? All you are doing is advocating for somebody else to solve your problems. It's time to stop being a backseat driver, get in the front seat, and take action. Find something you care about and get involved. Do something to make it better. But stop sharing this crap and acting like you care beyond just today, beyond just yourself, because it's about all of us. And I'm tired of the political crap that's out there by people who do nothing but complain and give your power away for somebody else to come into office to just screw it up again because you haven't realized how this system works. Get a clue. Let me step back. To my listeners out there, I know that's not you. I know we're passionate about what's going on in this world, and I'm sorry. But I've been just so frustrated by this. You know why? Because the negativity got to me. But, in trying to express how I've been feeling about this, I just couldn't find the words. I couldn't write. I couldn't speak. I tried to do several little video clips about this. It's the weirdest thing. I had like this block. I don't know. Maybe this is just me. The more open I get with this show, the more, I guess, my creative centers are being opened and activated, which I'm grateful for. I love it. So I started messing around in GarageBand, and GarageBand has all these little, melodies that you can arrange and put together. And I ended up putting together like a 2.5 minute song that captured the emotion of exactly what I was feeling. And then I did a video behind it, a montage with the message that I've been trying to get out. So it's just about done. I hope to release it within the week and share it with all of you. And my hope is that something like this goes viral because I think it's a good glimpse of exactly what's going on in this world. And I can say that based on the research that I've done. I don't have all the answers, but this is from my perspective, how I see things. Let me word it that way. I'm not a know-it-all. But, this negativity is just festering out there. And it created a block in me. Let's talk about energy for a minute. Let's talk about the other shows that I've covered. I think it has created a block. That little rant I went on, I can't say enough. It just felt so good to get that out there. So thank you for listening. In my mind, I'm hoping that you were nodding your head in agreement and not going, "Who is this jerk? Who does he think he is?" But it is what it is. I don't want to hold back anymore. I think these are the things that need to be said. If you're going to get mad, that's what we should get mad at, because at the end of the day, the problem is not some politician. It's not some corporation. It's us. We are the consumers. We are the quote-unquote voters. We are the ones with the power that we give away daily. So we need to stop giving our power away and start exercising our freedom and our free will. I'm not saying go break the law. I'm saying buy smarter. Put these companies and these politicians out of business. A simple boycott, if we could learn to organize, that's all that it would take in some cases. Let's start investing our efforts, our resources, everything towards this new technology to, like I said, the building that looks like a tree that grows a bunch of food. That's what we should be getting excited about. That's what we should be getting fired up about. I mean, be a part of that. Lobby for that. Start sending that link to your politicians. Hey, why aren't we investing in things like this? Stop investing in the oil and everything. There's greener technology out there. That's what we need to be doing. And I believe that we can do that, and I believe that that is the key to change in this world, and we can have that brighter future. I know it. I know that we can, but it's up to us. You listening right now, I need you to start. Pick something you care about. It's impossible to get involved and care about every issue. I recognize that. What I'm passionate about, you may not be passionate about. Pick one thing and invest in that. And then once that becomes a part of your daily routine, find something else. Because it's overwhelming to look at, well, I'm just one person. How can I change the world? Change your world and influence the sphere around you. Don't cram it down people's throats. Just live your life the way you want to live it. And once you start doing things that work, it will become contagious. I see it in my own life, moving to alternative medicine because I was so sick of what Big Pharma did to my father. So I started, it's been about 3.5 years now. I've been making my own medicines, and now, I've got my mom on board. My friends are starting to hit me up for home remedies and ailments and stuff. I had somebody else tell me he's not making his own deodorant yet, but he's switched to his own stuff. You know what I mean? So we have that possibility to influence our sphere. And if you look at the research behind social coherence from HeartMath, that contributes to the energetic field that's out there as well. These million children meditating for world peace. If you study the Maharishi effect, it's another show that I've done. There's the proof in the pudding right there. That stuff actually works. It works. We can do it. I believe that we can do it. So, we need to try. We really do. We really need to do a better job than we're doing right now. And I know that's asking a lot, but if it's not us, if we're not the light bearers here, if we're not the torch carriers, if we're not the trailblazers and the pioneers, and that is hard work, ladies and gentlemen, if we're not the ones doing it, then who will? Because that is the problem. We expect someone else to come in and save the day. From religion all the way up through politics, we always expect it to be someone else. Well, guess what? There is no one else coming. It is us. We need to do it, and we can do it together. So please, let's make a difference. Let's make this world our world. Let's learn to cohabitate and do a better job. I believe in us. I believe in the human race. I don't think we have to be these cruel creatures that we've turned out to be, that we're presented to be. We are better than that. We are capable of more. So let's live up to that higher standard. Make today day one. As I used to say in boot camp, day one is the hardest day. Pick your day one. Plan for it. Whatever it is you're going to do, plan for your day one. And when day one starts, it's going to be hard, but day two will be a little bit easier. And you'll make your way through the process. And you will fall along the way, but you will get there. And we all need to get there. I'd love for you to email me or comment on the Facebook feed. Tell me what you're passionate about. Tell me what you're going to do. Let's make this the new movement, okay? Just let's change the world. I know that's a very big, lofty goal to have, but at least we're doing something. So if the shit hits the fan, we know we did our best to prevent it. That's what we need to do, okay? So I'd love to hear from you. Again, servicetochange.com. I have a contact form there. Just click on the contact tab or hit me up on Facebook or on Goodreads for the discussion forum as well. I'd really love to hear what your ideas are and what your plans are and what you'd like to change. And if there's any way I can help or any resources I can direct you to, or maybe you have some resources for me. Or do you think I'm just absolutely nuts? I'd love to hear about that too, because who knows, maybe I am. But I need some good company if that's the case at the Nut House here. Okay, that's all the time I have right now for the show. Again, my apologies if I offended anybody. That's not my goal. I got 2 young kids, and I don't want to see this world for them. it saddens me. So let's move forward. Let's keep it positive. I'd also like to put a call out there real quick before I end the show. If you've ever had a paranormal experience, average Joe, just like me, I want to hear from you. I want you on my show. I'd like to do a feature of people who've had these experiences because I'm trying to make these discussions more common. I would like to have a discussion and to encourage other people to, quote unquote, come out of the closet with these paranormal experiences, because I think understanding this stuff, being more open to this stuff, will give us a better understanding of the world we live in and the way it's being manipulated around us. Let's open our eyes. Let's do it together. So please be a guest on my show. Go to the contact form on servicetochange.com. Let me know you'd like to be a guest, and I would very much love to have you on. If you have a book to promote or something else to promote, that's on that you think would be a great idea for the show, please hit me up. I haven't had guests on in a while. I'm looking to start bringing some more guests on the show now as the show grows. So that's it. I'm going to end the show here. Please continue to share. We're on iTunes. We're on SoundCloud, on YouTube as well, and always at serviceofchange.com. I'm Dennis Nappy II. This has been the Seiker Podcast, where small changes among the masses can have a massive impact around the world. I encourage you to be that change. Never stop questioning and keep an open mind. Thank
Welcome to Truth Seekers.